Start button. Oh my goodness, that just works. The question is, did it break my Twitch? Is Twitch still alive? Can you help me figure that one out, Adam? And now I just have to wait patiently. It does work. Okay, so I have to press start specifically on YouTube, but not on Twitch, because that's set up to be bound to. This is so scuffed. But I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. I believe in the sense that it makes. Okay, so for the YouTube audience of currently 0, I'll just repeat the first 7 minutes. I've watched Dandadan, I didn't like it. It's a good show, but it's not for me. I think it's a good show, at least. It's hard to say when it's not a show for you, if it's good or not. But I like the animation. I just don't like the narrative or the writing or the plot. And that's like, that's more about personal taste, I think. And as for my current voice, this is not how I usually sound. Maybe it is. It's not how I usually sound to myself. I am sick, and I've been sick since my last stream, which was not on YouTube, which was only on Twitch. All of them are on Twitch. Actually, they get deleted after 2 weeks. So, in 2 weeks from now, they won't be. It was like after the last stream, I got a sore throat. Oh yeah, now you can get the because Adam here, my good friend Adam. Nice seeing you yesterday as well. Hold on, you just spoiled everything. Okay, so how about you be quiet for just fuck for just a moment. And then speak when allowed to. Okay, so after my last stream, I got a really hoarse sore throat, and I was like, oh damn, maybe I should be careful about how much I stream. I stream for 4 hours. I'm not used to it. Maybe it's because I speak English, and when I speak English, I have to compress my throat or whatever. I kept trying to make excuses, explanations to why my throat was so hoarse, why it felt so weird and so bad after having talked for those 4 hours. And then it got worse going into Friday, and I was like almost panicking, like, oh shit, is this like not a thing I can do? What is going on? What is my... Oh yeah, also I literally just started the YouTube thing, and I just swore, so maybe it's who is the owner of YouTube? Maybe Bill Gates will just visit me and choke me in my sleep. Hell yeah. And then Saturday came upon me, and I realized I was sick, but I hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet. I hadn't realized that maybe my throat was hoarse because I was sick. But at that point, during this Saturday, my voice got really sexy, you know, because like it got way more gravelly, and that was really cool and stuff. And that continued sort of into Sunday, but Sunday I was kind of bedridden for most of the day. Yes. Welcome to FM cough. And Sunday was the day where I basically just watched all of Dandadan, though I didn't finish. Then Monday came along, and I was like, hey job, I am sick today. I will not be coming into work. And then I tried sleeping, watching YouTube, and feeling bad for myself. All of 3 worked tremendously. And Tuesday came along, and here's the thing about Tuesday. Now I'll accept your comment, Jojo. By the way, I hope you're fine with me calling you Jojo, but that's because that's because the first 2 letters of your name, and also we've watched all of JoJo together. So that is why you are my JoJo. Oh shoot. Okay, nice. Otherwise, I'd call you Junes. Sorry. I just found that very funny. The thing about Tuesday is that it's the day after Monday. True. People usually call me Joe or Jojo. Ah, nice. Looks like I have absolutely no sense of uniqueness, which is one of the other things I've been thinking about. I would like to gear my stream or my streaming personality towards accentuating the unique. But we'll get back to that. Anyway, there was a concert on Tuesday, but I was bedridden. So what do? Well, I said I'd go, so I was going to go to this damn concert, even if it killed me. And it killed everyone else also. I do not endorse this. What I did was stupid. But this concert meant a lot to me, and I also learned a lot at this concert. So I don't regret it. However, I will not endorse it. It was really stupid. So I had planned on going with a friend, and this friend was coming in from another city. So he took the train, and wouldn't you know it, it seems like an electric cable fell onto the train tracks. So none of the electrical trains worked in all of Zealand, basically. I didn't know that. I thought it was just between his city and my city. And so he appeared. He showed up at the station at 16, and then he left his station at around 18. This is how bad it was. And then he was stuck in another city for like an additional 1.5 hours. Great. Me, on the other hand, being still sick, I was like, I think I can do it. I'll put a, I'll put a mask on. I'll make sure to stand a little in the back. I'll make sure to not shout as much. I'll make sure to not jump in order to like breathe less heavily. And, you know, try to keep a proper distance, but I still really want to go at the concert. So even though I did go, I tried to at least do it semi-responsibly. But you could and would and should argue that it wasn't responsible in the first place to even go. I met with Joe, and I met with Bastian's girlfriend. Bastian didn't come because he's a loser. He's been in this chat, so I can say that. And of course my friend, who arrived at 20:30-ish. Oh, you didn't. Right. Okay. So maybe if I was feeling like a little more healthy. Yeah. Occupied with your own friend. If I was feeling a little more healthy, I think I would have the wherewithal to gather my disparate 3 friend groups at the place, and then like gather all of them up and be like, here you go, meet up, dance, have good fun. I love doing that with like different groups of friends. It's also very nerve-wracking because what if they don't like me, or even worse, what if they like each other more than they like me? This is absolutely unacceptable. Also, Bastian's in-game character is married to Joe's in-game character. So, you know, that's straight up competition. It was your first ever concert. Oh goodness, I made the exact same mistake as you, because it's only downhill from here, my friend. Okay. I've gone to a bunch of different concerts since then. And been wondering what the yeah, I know. And I've been wondering, like, why do I not enjoy other concerts as much? And one of the main things is this concert, the Ninja Sex Party concert. They are extremely good at showmanship. They are really good at audience participation. So it's less of a concert and more of a show. It was even more of a show when I first watched them 6 or 7 years ago. No, I did it. Fuck. I said 6, 7. God damn it. Yeah, so anyway. That really threw me off. No. Oh my god. I hate it. And I hate my nephew. Yeah, so... But the main thing I also realized is the reason it's so good, the reason why showmanship or shows for concerts are so important is that concerts really aren't about the music, at least to me, because if it's about the music, you would sit at home with like a vinyl player or Spotify or a cassette tape, and you would lean back, close your eyes, and enjoy the moment. However, a concert requires you to lean in. It requires participation. It requires you to make the effort. It is about the performance completely. And if you don't lean into it, it just gets worse for you. And it made me realize something about Final Fantasy 14 as well. Because maybe I'm not the best at leaning into the story itself, and that's why I haven't enjoyed it. I think I've done it more on stream, and I've enjoyed the story more while it has been on stream. Because I'm forced to lean into it. I'm not just reading it, I'm acting it out, and I'm commenting on it, and I'm talking about it. Talking about what I like, and way too often what I dislike. That will not stop. That is part of my personality. And please understand that when I talk about the stuff that I dislike, it's not because I dislike the thing as a whole. It's just a very specific thing that I'm talking about disliking. Which is very negative of me, I realize. And I would say I'll try to better myself, but I mean, that's all I can promise. I'll try, because I think it just makes for a better general experience for myself. However, it's part of my analysis pattern. It's talking about stuff that I don't like as much, such that perhaps it can be better. Is the hope, is the idea, is the goal in life. But also really talk about the stuff that I do like. So, saying you don't like a part of a thing you enjoy just means, you want it to be better. So, I'll just biggest fans are also the biggest critics. Oh boy, in that case, Ruby is the most loved show ever. Which unironically may be a little true. So let me so I want to start by some positives, and I hope I won't throw up in the middle of it. But in this Doma place, I really like these huge walls. They sell grandeur to a massive scale. It is like so big, it's ridiculous. And okay, I actually want to show a little thing here, and I'm sure everyone is in chat, because Bananafish isn't here yet. Is then okay. Yeah. So what I really like about about since I played World of Warcraft, essentially, is these sorts of places, right? There's like these small places where you can just be and hang out, and it feels like a bit of a secret, you know? Like, ooh, people haven't seen this. This is my private little hangout spot. Then I can be like slash shit, and also, damn, this is a tiny table. Well, my character is big. And I used to love going around in World of Warcraft and finding those places. Especially because when I played, flying mounts were not like a regular thing. So even to get mounts was really difficult back in the time of World of Warcraft that I played. I do really like that design, actually. Whoa. Also, can we talk about some environmental storytelling? Look, people have tried to break through, but the big force field thing has kept it off. So the cannon fire and whatnot has struck these areas. That's really cool. That reminds me, you know, in I don't actually think that this is. Wait, hold on. No. This is Chinese style wall design. So what the Chinese used to do was when they built walls, they built like these massive flat walls, even though they had cannons. Thank you. I am a big cat. I didn't see that before, so sorry. I got distracted. So they built like these massive flat walls, and if any of you are siege and warfare engineers, you would know that a flat surface against a strong, what do you say, concussive force, I suppose, is really ineffective. But where it is really effective is if the wall is not like a what's that called? If it's thin, it's really ineffective, because then you penetrate the wall, which is why the Chinese tended to build their walls to be very, very thick. And one of the ways they did this was by building around an already existing structure, such as a mountain, which is what you can see here. And this right here, this texture, is sort of the same as this kind of texture. So this is just the additional, what's it called? These large rock formations that they just chopped to, quarried a bit, and then put brick around it. And that's why when the Chinese first met the European Star Fortress, even though their cannons were much bigger and much stronger than the Europeans' cannons, they looked at the Star Fort and thought, this is such a stupid design, why would you have such thin walls? And then they fired upon the walls, but they couldn't penetrate, because what the Europeans had realized in their technology is, with the Star Fort, if you attack it with a cannon, it will always slide off and ricochet, and that will eat most of the momentum due to the angle that it will come in from, and that's really cool and really nice. And so the Chinese lost to Russians in that one war that I can't remember, but they did that, and that's cool. And they've done this here as well, which is also cool, with the Chinese style wall. Of course, the European cannons would not be able to penetrate the Chinese style walls either, which is why defense is always the best. Except for in modern day, because in modern day the weapons have become so destructive that it's entirely impossible to properly defend against them unless it's small arms. Oh, you could be up here. Nice. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, defense. Yeah, so I saw a theory, and this is a long time ago. That was like mechs with melee weapons are actually realistic. And hear me out. It's because there is a theoretical upper limit for how hard you can shoot stuff using gunpowder-based weaponry, right? However, we have found no theoretical limit on how tough you can make something. Because we keep discovering new, more tough materials. Discovering, I say. Like, we keep making stronger and stronger defenses. But we don't have a proper theoretical limit for how tough something can be. So the theory would go that one day the defense would be able to overtake offense again, like it did during the late medieval period with plate armor. And so you would reach a point where ranged weapons no longer make sense, because the defensive properties would make you run out of ammunition in some cases. Of course, ranged missile weapons such as bows were still king of the battlefield for a very long time, even with full plate armor. However, it would not be the only thing as it is today. EDF 4. They were kind of. Of course, the main issue with this theory is the current implementation or idea of giving personnel armor would mean that the person in the personnel armor being shot by a cannon would still be liquefied inside the armor. So it does, yes, to those who don't know, yes, I'm sick. So therefore, armor maybe not personnel armor as we thought of back in the day, and maybe the theory is actually full of garbage. However, I think it's a neat idea, and I like to dream about the day a sick streamer. Yes, indeed. Call me. Yeah, that's my stream notification, by the way. I imagine none of you saw it, but I spent a lot of seconds thinking about it, so you better appreciate it. Another thing I've been doing since. Yeah, I know I'm yapping and we haven't started any quests yet. I know you're here for the quests. Another thing I've been doing and haven't finished is I've been setting up a community server, but it's not at all ready because I got sick, and also I got sick of trying to figure out how bots worked. But I've set up the basics. Now I just need, the main blocks right now is something as simple as an icon for the server, and then the ping bots. Yeah, thank you. I was going to hint at asking for your help because I know you've set up bots before. Oh yeah. So during last stream, I yapped about. I got distracted again. During last stream, I yapped about a story that I knew from back from when I was a kid, right? About about this hen going out and doing stuff and having to gather things, but in order to get things, the hen needed to get another thing. However, I read it again. I found the book, by the way. It's called The Cock and the Hen in the Nut Forest. I am not kidding. And I'm not going to read the entire story, but I will correct what I said, which was wrong. It was the cock and the hen in the nutty forest, and they wanted to pluck some nuts, and then one of the nuts got stuck in the hen's throat, and then she needed some water in order to wash the nut down, essentially. And then he goes to the river, and then he asks the river, because this is a fairy tale, this is how these things work. Dear river, or Kilde, so that's a source, like the dear spring, actually, give me some water. Why are you nuts? My nuts are not. Stop! It's one nut. It's not mine. It is the cock and the hen in the nut forest. Okay. Hold up. And then in the story, it's like, dear spring, give me some water, such that I can water my hen, who's about to die in the nut forest. And then the spring is like, I am not going to give any water before I get some leaves. And then it goes to like a tree and asks for leaves, and the tree asks for like a golden red bond. And so it ends with essentially this repeats for about 2 pages of it going to different places and saying, I need this because this and this and this and this and this. And then it ends with the coal miner thought it was felt pity for the cock and gave him coal, such that the smith got coal, the lumberjack got his axe, the baker got lumber, and the what is this? How do I translate that? Some guy got pancakes. The sow got corn. The what is a shoemaker called? It has a specific name. Anyway, the shoemaker got his brushes, and then Virgin Mary got shoes. The tree got its golden band. The spring got its leaves. The cock got water, and when he brought the water to his hen, oh, this is actually the good version of the story. So he got the water for his hen, and then she felt good again. A cobbler, yeah, cobbler. Thank you. Cobble gobble. Yeah, I remember the version I got distinctly, because the hen had died by the time that the cock came back. And then I found the original house mouse and country mouse, which is very on brand because I recently watched the Chainsaw movie, and reading that story after the Chainsaw movie is very interesting. Let me say, big recommend if you happen to have this specific translation of it. I was thinking of perhaps reading it, but seeing as how the reading just went, I think that would be a bad idea, especially with my sickness being as it is currently. Water. Water good. Yeah. I had long since taken this day off, but because, you know, I planned to go to this concert and I knew I would be home very late, so I wanted to make sure the day afterwards was set off. So I used a vacation day on that. Turns out I was just sick anyway, so... But I feel like I can't, you know, I can't reclaim my vacation day because I got sick, because maybe I would have been fine today if I hadn't gone to the concert, you know? So I'll at least think about it. Okay. Anyway, what say you we actually start? So, what do you mean that's exactly how that works? If you sweat and you lie still, you get better quicker. That's just how it works. That's just math. Okay, Tansui. It says it looked like shit. The captain thought you might need a ride for the Enclave. Ready to go aboard? Let's go. Sit wherever you like. Oh, that's what this book is for. This book by the book. It's not a book. It is made of the same material as a book, but this is called a boat. I don't know what happened in there, but it's so. Anyway, it doesn't have collision. That was what I was about to say. I also was about to say something like 15 minutes ago, but then I, you know, dropped it and forgot it. Happened in there, but it's over. You want that's cause enough for celebration, and those people you're about to see need something to celebrate. Ooh. Have I been to the Enclave? Oh, cutscene. This is glorious. Do I have to turn up? Turn up for what?
We brought everyone here. You were the last to arrive.
I hope this works, by the way. What I'm doing is I'm turning up the volume on my end so that the voices go through clearer. By the way, I feel like I have to ask, how are the sound levels? Because it is constantly nagging me, and I don't want a repeat of the first like 5 streams where the sound was awful. So now I've mentioned it, I have to wait for, what, 15 seconds until I see an answer, and then an additional 10 seconds, because after you've processed what I've just said, then you have to actually, you know, answer it. Well, in that case, thank you, Adam, for answering. Let me look at this. Let me look at the stream chat, because I feel like I have become, okay, a second monitor content. Yes, one answer. Good. I was about to make a highly specific call out and be like, you, give me an answer. Cough. Anyway.
I see. Thank you. We owe the Confederacy a great debt.
I have waited 25 years for this moment. You owe us naught.
Dun dun. I can't believe you would do this to me, Joe. Promoted.
Look! It's Lord Hien!
Lord Hien!
It's him! He lives! He lives!
He's alive.
Some few words of encouragement would not go amiss, my lord.
Right. Yes, of course.
Oh right, this guy hasn't actually been a royal for like 20 years or something. Done. Fuck, everything is breaking. Me especially. Wait, what am I answering? I can say something.
Right. Off I go.
He's usually pretty good at this. Like the talking part. That's what I respect about him. People who talk a lot. Actually, I hate people who talk a lot but don't have a lot to say. But this guy has a lot to say. or a lot of important stuff. But people who yap just for yapping's sake, those are the scum of the earth. Inside thoughts. This is what I think my character is thinking at all times. It's just my
We
voice.
are a sorry lot, are we not? Tired, dirty, stinking of blood and sweat and ash. The people pushed to the point of breaking.
Like lunch breaks.
And yet, we won. The perseverance to endure decades of oppression. The will to carry on the legacy of those we have lost. These were the bonds that held us together and gave us the strength to reclaim our home.
These are decades of oppression. I feel like I know this is not something this is not like, it seems silly to make this comparison, but China did go through a century of humiliation. And that sort of I know this is a general term, decades of oppression. And century of humiliation is a name for a very specific period. But it got me thinking.
After 25 hard years, the shadow of the Empire no longer darkens these lands, and we may at last look forward to the dawning of a new day. But, my friends, it will be a day of work.
No, not a Monday. I'm leaving. I don't want to take part in this work.
So I ask you, have you yet the strength to stand? To rise up with me once more, here and now, and begin to rebuild our homeland?
Lord Ian!
I think they could have rested on that moment a little longer. Because it was very good.
This will not end with Doma. We will see to that, right, Lise?
Right.
Left,
Indeed, this is but the beginning.
back, and
The
forth.
tide is turning, and
Back,
it shall soon
back,
bear us
forth.
back across the seas, and onward and to the next battlefield.
Wait. Hold on. I'm just having like a small flashback moment here. Why, like narratively speaking, did we then go here? If I believe the story was trying to secure allies, which I suppose we have done. Wait, this is a settlement. It's more like a shittlement. I imagine they're gonna clean it up and it's going to look just as nice as Hirashi Kugane. What is the city called? Hold on. It is Hingashi. Kugane. Shirogane. Oh, that's where peasants live. Okay. And by that I mean players. Let me move this a little closer. Oh boy. Wait, you want China to look like Japan? Well, they already look very much like each other. They share a lot of visual identity, which is awkward. Oh, look. A hobbit hole. No, wait, I went here to pick up stuff, didn't I? No, they're just reusing assets. That's okay. What is... Wait, hold on. What is this building? It's a... okay, yeah. It is this black iron that sort of tipped me off. Yeah, this is an empire building. Which is why it's the only one still standing, because imperial technology. Also very brutalist square. Wait. Triangles. Wonder why they do everything in metals. Wait, that's brick? Black brick? What the hickeys? I think I've only seen like blackened brick in... Okay, no shortcuts for me then. I think I've only seen blackened brick in like one place. Which is too bad. It's really cool. Cool? Though a little foreboding. God, I can't speak. Goodness. Yeah, I've seen it in Prague. The Honored Hero. That's me. Have I unlocked a new place? Wait. No? Okay. I'm so sick. I'm sick of being sick. Oh no. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm quite certain you would not prefer to stay a while longer. There are such sure festivities and guests of honor. I could never be sick of you. I mean, I could. And I likely will be. Later. There are other ways in which we might celebrate by rejoicing the fight for freedom in Albania. Short though our time here has been, come regard this land and people as our own, I think, but we have done and we came to do, and Doma's liberation throughout the Empire, and seize opportunity to rekindle fires of liberation in the West. We dare not allow Imperial's moments respite. Lest they march on Doma again. For the sake of all concerned, we should leave immediately. You are leaving? Afraid so. Battle to fight. About you, will you be heading back to Steppe? Yes, the war here is ended, and there is no cause to remain. The Oronia and Dothal have already withdrawn. I will follow them, anon. But I wish to bid you farewell. The Blue Two must return to their homes, but we will be back. Doma has need of merchants and builders. And just like that, our grand fellowship is broken. Without ceremony or pomp, you steal off into the dark. No matter, we have plenty to getting on with, places to be, people to rob, and so on. The captain never was one for mingling. I'm a pirate. Give me a song at the tavern, and I'll be happy. Hobnobbing with Lord Hien, nay. No taste for finer things. In any event, we need not part ways here. If you are for Kugane, we would be happy to take you. Her waters have always been fruity. I wish you well with journey, friend, and walk in crimson. Thank you, Serena, for everything. May the Kami speed you on your way until we meet again. Dang. Anyway, as I was saying, this felt like such a side quest. And as for the side quest of go to Japan and free China. Anyway, back to Albania. Damn, this area is huge, actually. Wonder if there's additional territories. Okay, one city, one area with 3 places. One area with 3 places. Okay, that makes 2 areas with 3 places and 1 city. What was in this previous expansion? Whoops. There was one area, and there's a city in this area. Wait, sorry? This area? Yes, city in this area. And I think this wasn't in the previous. Wait, this Coerthas. 1, 2, and city. And then 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, but this area is quite big. Ah, well. Cool, I think, maybe. Sorry. I got distracted by myself. There are 6 areas per expansion, not counting cities. Oh, so like this counts as an area? Or does Othard count as an area? Ooh, Palace of Lost Souls. Anyway, I'm going back. Not remains to be done. We're ready to Q-gain. I'm going to Q-gain. Have everything good? We anchor for Seki Gumi. And the bottom of heart thank you for gift regards. Oh my goodness. Ah, okay. Open travel Aether currents. No, I'm looking at trousers. Hands. I remember looking at these, and I remember picking these because they fit the dinosaur pants. No, the dinosaur shoes and the dinosaur gloves. Open travel. Okay, travel. And then you said Aether currents. Lay. Oh, right. This place. This is also a place. It's in Abalathia Spine. Oh. This place is massive. Those are the areas. Ah, I see. And then, bam, fringes. The peaks. No information. Okay. So this very much looks like there is an area that I have not yet unlocked in this expansion. Okay, Ruby Sea, I'm missing one place. Thonk. It feels like maybe I should go back to the Ruby Sea. I will not. Not yet. As you recall, yellow quests. Ah, right. I was about to say, yeah, I know. I've been playing through 2 expansions. I know this is a quest. But, yeah, of course, in travel. Sorry. My brain, very small. And keeps getting smaller. Oh, new shoes. This is not a shoe. This is still pants. Pants. These are very like... These are high pants. Not very high pants, because belly button is here. High pants would then be up here. These look like jammies a little bit. Well, I accept this quest. We probably have to continue the MSQ for that one. Yeah, maybe. Or it's a blue quest that I missed. This is also possible. I informed Tateru. She and Hancock should be for Ruby Bazaar. Then, Pathways, best of luck, piratical endeavors. Yeah. You get the fuck out of here. It is a little strange that we're just fine with working with pirates. But I guess the pirates are they're only partially pirates because they have a confederacy, and at that point it's just called taxes. That's of course, when you begin like taking ships, then I guess it's more like freeboot. No, not freebooting, because freebooting is when you have a private person with a boat that then technically it's not attacking ships. It's freebooting is technically not attacking ships. Freebooting is taking parts of ships that your country is at war with and then taking it to either country in order to sell that booty. However, it often became a sort of piracy where you, as a free person, attacked the ship of whatever country and then tried to sell it legally. It was one of the only ways that you could sell like those kinds of stolen goods, but it just sort of devolved into piracy. And now that's why the orc freebooters are called that. It doesn't make sense because the orc freebooters are not freebooters. At least I don't think. Marin in chat would know. Because he collects orcs. He's very cool like that. Back in the day because we got into Warhammer as a tabletop thing about at the same time. And he's single-minded in a very like self-assured way, and I respect that. Because he walked into the shop and he said, I want orcs. Give me orcs. I want them orcs. And that's gonna be right now. And the guy was like, hell yeah, here are your orcs, sir. And then I walked in and I said, hello, I would like some advice on what faction to pick. And usually people are like, oh, I get to talk about this cool hobby thing. However, talking to me about the cool hobby thing is always more difficult because I was like, I'm thinking about Eldar and Grey Knights and Tyranids. And he's like, you could not pick 3 more different armies. The only thing that these armies have in common are they like psychic stuff. Yeah, so, you know, then he tried guiding me to what to buy, and I ended up picking up Tyranids, which was fine. But in the end, today, in this day and age, it turns out I just like Eldar more. The main issue I ended up having with Tyranids is their lack of personality. Of course, I went into it with the understanding that they don't have personality, or individuality is probably the right word to say. But I didn't realize at that point that it would bother me that my dudes were not really my dudes. And I'm not really the type of person who can look at a battlefield and say, I'm just going to be the bad guy and be an obstacle for the heroes to overcome, which is sort of the type of mentality you need to have for a narrative, narratively, in order to enjoy Tyranids. Narratively. I did say narratively, right? So, yeah, but they're still very cool, and I still do like them, and they're still my little insect babies. But with the Eldar, you can have characters with like full personality and story, and that's just way harder to do in my head, in my mind, with Tyranids. Though I guess if I put little bows on them and gave them like and gave them colors and like not dog tags, but like those tags for like cows and goats and stuff in their ear, then I would be like, oh, this is Mary the Termagant. She goes around and she produces the termagants, and she's very nice, and it's like it's a petting zoo. Yeah, but what? Why was I talking about this? Anyway, I'm going into the Ruby Bazaar. Sorry for unloading that on you, East Aldenar Trading Company 8. Welcome back, everyone. Congratulations on a job well done. I have to say, whenever I go on these tangents and completely distract myself, I like to imagine that my character's either thinking it or just saying it to nearby other characters who just have to deal with her shit. It is a pleasure as ever to see your smiling face, Tateru. Less so yours, Hancock. Yeah, screw you, Hancock. Get the heck out of here. And I am sincerely grateful for your assistance. The pleasure was all mine. Anyway, you should be glad to hear that I already charted a passage for you back to Limsalem. Oh goodness. Okay, so I watched what's that movie called? The Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movie recently. And by recently I mean during the weekend. That's another thing I did while I was sick. And the movie was better than I remember. And I do see why so many young, impressionable teenagers based their personality around this movie and Tim Burton in general. And I find it hilarious. By the way, spoilers for Alice in Wonderland, the live-action movie from 15 years ago, 20 years ago? I think it's 20 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, spoilers for that movie, because in the end, she's like, no, I don't want to get married. Instead, I want to be part of the East India Trading Company. And I couldn't stop laughing because it felt like such a win. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go do adventure stuff and be a hero. And the only thing I could imagine is, well, I guess she just went on to oppress India and kill thousands, if not millions of people. Good job, Alice. You absolute genocidal maniac. Oh no, it was because she pointed at China and was like, you know what? No one is doing trade with China. We could be the people to do trade with China. And I'm like, no, Alice started the Opium Wars. What the fuck, Alice? I was with her like most of the movie, understanding like she's just being buffeted around from one place to the other. And then she goes out and like, now I'm going to be the hero. Time to suffocate the Chinese market and cause the century of humiliation entirely. I'm like, my goodness, I wish she died in the Wonderland. Why did she have to beat the Jabberwocky? She is the issue. At least the Red Queen could only kill and oppress so many people. There are 1 billion people in China. Do you have any idea how much your decisions have affected the world history? You are the reason the Xinjiang... Coughing censorship. Ooh. Yeah, anyway. Alice is a war criminal. The ship is to leave port this very day, but the captain has agreed to wait until the 4 of you are on board. The 4 of us? You mean to stay here in Q-Gain? Yes, I have given it some thought, and I realized that, oh, she's such a weep. Even with Doma free, there's still need for a woman in the middle. Oh, woman in the middle attacks are an issue when it comes to coding. Maybe even more than before, considering all the friends and alliances you made. I completely forgot, like, how to do man in the middle attacks, and what the idea behind them are. All I remember is when I tried making builds back in, like, I almost called it 3rd grade, 3rd semester of university. Like half of all of my build failures were in like a Linux pop-up saying, yeah, we can't build and send this to the well, it's not a microprocessor. It's a oh, what's it called? Raspberry. We can't build and send it to the Raspberry because of a risk of man-in-the-middle attacks and whatnot. I was like, God dang it. And then I was told what man-in-the-middle attacks were multiple times, and I've forgotten it each time. You pretend to be someone you are not and pass messages between 2 parties claiming that you are the other party. Ah. That's really cool. I like hacking things. I'm not as in I like to do the hacking. I just like many of the principles and things behind it. Though I seem to be unable to remember any of them. The only one I can remember is the magnetic hammer attack, because it's hilarious. I don't know who told me about it, but I know I've been talking about it so much since I found out that it existed. It's essentially because if you have like a series of bits, like ROPs are cool as well. ROPs. You'll have to tell me about that afterwards. It's essentially you have like, if you have a bit, you have like a block of data here, right? So let's say you have this block of data, and then 7, so 0 through 6 of the bits. So the 7 first bits are all set to 0. Time for paint. I should probably get paint, but currently I've set it up so you see if I tab out or if I drag something else onto the screen, you aren't able to see it. But currently I have chat all over the main monitor, but you can't see it. So I have to set up a source that can look at paint. So I need to wait. Can I application audio capture? Is this what I'm using for? No, I'm using window capture, and then okay, window capture, and then I go paint, and then I go, and then I write paint. But I write it in the wrong window, so I have to rewrite paint. Make source visible. Okay, and then window, and then I untitled paint, and then I press OK. Does this work? It doesn't look like it's working. Oh no. Well, maybe should I try to mspaint.exe? Interesting. What about this one? Doesn't seem to work either. And also it's above everything. So if I drag it down... Wait, that didn't work. If I drag it down... Why can't I move it? Huh. Oh, it's because I'm dragging the wrong thing. Okay, so if I drag it down to here... Okay, now everything else is... if you repeatedly read the bits surrounding a bit in the RAM, you can flip it. That's kind of what I'm talking about the magnetic hammer attack. I just really want to... How do I... Top Morocco... Livestream and Discord. No, I don't wanna dox myself like this. Why does it not Capture mode, automatic. Ah! Aha! I just need to do it unautomatically. Anyway, welcome to Paint. Bobo. Okay, so this is the thing. We're doing it. Okay, so we have our bits. Bop. Why am I doing it like that? We have our bits. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, so this is how bits work, right? So we have our 0, we have our 0, we have our 0, we have our 0, and then we have our 0. And then what we want to do is we want to take this bad boy, and then we want to flip this bit, and then we want to flip, and then this one remains 0. And then wait, I can do this easier. Bam, bam, bam. This was not... I have no forethought. Then we flip this bit, and then we flip this bit, and then we flip this bit. And the thing is, if you do this in sequence fast enough, right? Because this bit changes from 0 to 1, you induce a magnetic field around it. And then, because you change this one afterwards, you extend the magnetic field moving in this direction. And then when you flip this one, you push the magnetic field in this direction. And when you flip this one, you push it in this direction. And because you push the magnetic field over the last bit, you can flip the last bit, even though you only have access to the previous bits. It's amazing. It's completely impractical and completely impossible to do in reality, because because you have to use because you have to know exactly what data is stored where in the system. So it's impossible to do properly in reality, because you would need years and years working with the exact same machine, using the exact same data as the original. But the idea that you can use these physical properties, I suppose, of the system, of the hardware, using physics, like something completely separate, to hack something, it's so incredible. Because usually hacking is like you trick it, or you use some kind of logic, or you play with the system. But this is playing entirely around the system. These are the reasons why memory is placed basically randomly today. I didn't know there was a historical reason. I thought memory was placed randomly because the scheduler just picked the most optimal. Each time you run a program, the different parts of the program are placed differently relative to each other. Ah, okay. I thought this was just like a fully theoretical thing. I didn't know it actually had any actual consequences. Anyway, I'm gonna turn off this capture. Yes. Anyway, now set up Paint so I can disturb you with other ideas for later. Oh, we have multiple abstraction layers to scramble the memory. Oh, if I could remember it, there's some really cool algorithms for why... Oh, yeah. Okay, back to Paint. I think I can remember this. I am stupid, so... Oh, this does not work. I wanted to flip the colors and then start writing with white. Don't save. Okay. So, let's see if I can remember it. Okay, so if you have a disk... Bam. You have the disk, and then you have the middle of the disk, and then you have the reader head. The reader head is like, let's put it up here. You have the reader head. This reader head is reading. The disk in today's day and age largely only uses... Oh, I hope I'm getting this right. Okay, remember, I'm not smart. Disclaimer, I could be wrong here. But I believe in today there is a tendency to avoid using the outer layer of the disk as much as possible. So you want to save on the inner parts of the disk. And the reason you want this is because they quote unquote spin slower, because this part out here is like super duper spinny, and in order to read another part of the disk out here, you would have to wait longer with the head. So you'd have to pull the head out to here and read this part, and then you'd have to wait for the disk to make a proper rotation and then read another part of it. Where if you're in here, the switch between these areas is shorter. So this is why you would rather want to save stuff in the inner part of the disk, and the further out you go, the slower the reading becomes. Which is a very, very simplified way of saying it matters a lot where on the disk you save data. It sounds strange? Well, it's probably wrong then. It's something I learned from taking a, remember, I'm not a computer scientist, I'm a software engineer. But I went into some computer science classes sometime, and I believe there was some talk about saving on specific parts of the disk for specific pieces of data, and then avoiding the outer ring in general, because it's more difficult. I say I'm going to read up on it until next time, but I am very unlikely to do so. I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure there is something about where you save on the disk being important, but I'm less certain if you avoid writing anything on the outer parts of the disk. It's just what I currently remember. Yeah, so disclaimer. I would rather not try to lie and bullshit my way through sounding super smart when I am just plain wrong. Which is why it's nice to have people who know stuff about what you're talking about in chat, so they can say, I have my doubts about the validity of this claim. Which is... it's a disclaimer. Yeah, exactly. He left, but Tekopbine, who was in the chat earlier, he's the guy who would say, Siggedy, your claim on this historical phenomenon is completely wrong. So that's my guy for that. That's nice. Yeah, each person currently in chat, I will use for different pieces of information. So, just so you know, all of you have a very special part of you occupy a particular and specific part of my heart, and by that I mean I will use your information for egotistical and nefarious reasons, while not actually knowing. Using us for content? I would never. I would simply use you for knowledge, and knowledge is power, and power is content. As I told her many times before, I would be more than willing to assist you. And as I told you many times before, I am not about to let you worm your way into our affairs and exploit our connection for your personal gain. Must you always presume the worst? Yes, you are British. So there you have it. I will remain here for now. You needn't worry. I am a regular at the hostelry and half dozen other local institutions. Everyone loves me. This dang weeb. So go. Don't let me keep yo. Buy your supplies and souvenirs while you still can. when you finished, and make haste for docks, pier number 2 to be precise. I'll be waiting. I've completed returning to Ruby Bazaar. And now... Oh, I'm speaking with Teteru. What? Okay. Sorry. Sorry for the noises. I just grabbed my glass and it was on my right, and I'm currently using my mouse and 2 buttons on my mouse to run, such that my left hand could be free to clap the glass of Wauba, which I'm now holding in my left hand, but I had to reach over my right side in order to grab it. So with that visual, I will now drink water. Ah, how very glad. This is not the pier. It's pier number 2. I ran the wrong way. When I first moved to a big city, right? I didn't have a smartphone. Not because I'm old, but because I never found much reason to have a... You already made the peer pressure joke. I'm the one who repeats jokes in this stream. But yes, it is peer pressure. If there was no pressure on this pier, it would sink. Or you would sink through it. Well, you may not think so, but that's life. Wait, I have to turn down the music. I can't hear myself not think. Wait. Oh yeah, so when I moved to a big city, I didn't have a smartphone, so like getting around without a proper map was really difficult. So I tended to stop people and be like, excuse me, which way to the such and such? And I tried using the signs and whatnot, but the thing about big cities is people never, and I repeat, never put up signs for the stuff that they call places. It is so annoying. So I'm looking to get to, I don't know, the Western Harbor in Copenhagen, right? And then I go around asking, hey, where the Western Harbor at? And because all of the signs are like, this is this street and this is that street, and not this is the city area. So I got lost super easily. And then when I asked people, they always said, why don't you just look it up on your phone? And then I take out my brick Nokia phone and I'm like, what do you mean? So, yeah. See, what I should have done is just buy an atlas. This guy just walked through me, what the heck? I should just have bought an atlas and then, you know, walked around Copenhagen with an actual physical map. I should start doing that. I should start just carrying physical maps with me. It's so ballin'. Or a local map. Yeah. Well, I said atlas. I guess an atlas is unnecessary, but like, yeah, a proper local map. First to arrive as always. Hopefully the others will not be far behind. This is time for more water. The stream may be shorter today.
There you are. All packed and ready to go?
Yeah, sorry about that. The stream may be shorter today because I can already feel my throat drying up more than normal. Oh. Ooh, water. Yeah, so it's it feels grating. It feels like it feels like a compactor that's full of rocks, and those rocks are like grinding against each other. You say we understand. But do we, or do you? I have a feeling I have a feeling that you are completely and absolutely correct. However, I can't believe you would just speak on the behalf of everyone else. Ooh. Well, I was about to make a comment on how you're the only one currently writing in chat. But, you know, it's fine. We understand. And that is the royal we. Because I'm worth more than you. I guess what I'm trying to say. It's simple. I just make not understanding a bannable offense. I see. Yeah. This is how to reduce the hive mind to a single person. Like what humans did with their cells. Ah, there you are, all packed and ready to go.
To the best of my knowledge, yes. Apologies for the wait. The task of tying up loose ends invariably takes longer than one allows. Happily, however, all now seems to be in order.
Then there's nothing left to do but to board the ship. Do try and enjoy the journey, won't you? It may be your last chance to rest for a while.
That would depend on the good captain's choice of route.
As ever, Tataru, I pray you take all due precautions while making your inquiries. Better to avoid the local authorities altogether than risk a repeat of our Ishgardian episode.
What is the Ishgardian episode? Better to avoid local authorities. Ah.
And what sordid episode is this, pray tell?
Naught to speak of, I assure you.
Hey, where's my pop-up?
You there! Hold that ship!
What are you two doing here? Shouldn't you be in Doma?
Shouldn't you? You left with nary a word. We half wondered if I had done something to offend.
We are in a different country here. What are you doing here? You have passed through the Confederacy into Kugane.
Upon learning that you had departed for Kugane, we immediately resolved to give chase. Our comrades can manage affairs in our absence, and it seemed the least we could do.
What do you mean the least you could do? You have a country to rule.
You mean you came all this way just to say goodbye?
That too, aye. But there was something else I felt I had to say. You helped us win our freedom, and for that I cannot thank you enough.
Click.
Accordingly, after we have established an interim government and so forth, I think it only meet that we repay the favor by dispatching our own forces to Eorzea. If you would have us.
Sorry for the panic. The clicking didn't work. Okay, so I think I'm seeing a pattern in the expansions as well. So in the first expansions we got we have the three armies of the separate city-states, and then we made our own army, which were the blue crystal warrior braves, and then in the first expansion we got the Ishgardian military, and then in this expansion it seems we got the Doman, which surprises me a little, because we already got like the Confederacy and the Asim Steppe, so maybe we get even more. That would also be cool.
We harbored no expectations of such generous aid, and as
Yes,
there
we
was
did.
no telling when the Empire might strike back at you, would it not be wiser to concentrate your resources on the defense of Doma?
Alphino, I'm pretty sure the main reason we went to Doma was to get allies, and now it's like, here you go, here's an army, and you're like, oh, we didn't expect to. Blah, blah, blah. Get your shit together, man.
I had a mind to pursue a more aggressive defense, to which we will send forth shinobi to provinces far and wide to spread word of our victory, that we might inspire others to take up arms as we did.
He's being polite. I hate him.
Even the Empire has its limits. If the Garleans cannot be certain where and when the next rebellion will take place, how can they commit another force to them? And besides, so long as this debt remains unpaid, how am I to face myself? And Gorsetzer?
Dramatic.
As you wish. I will relay your offer to the Eorzean Alliance.
I mean... Oh... Being polite. I mean, it's like... It's almost as though forgetting that we supposedly have a mission. What was it? There was something about... In Ishgard he had like a whole character development thing. Where he was like, no, we can't do this for this reason, we have to do something else. However, that was over 2 years ago at this point. Maybe 3 years ago that I played that part. So I don't quite remember what his storyline in that game, or that expansion was. But yeah, I just feel like, strategically or tactically, the main reason we came here was not to help out Doma, it was to help Gia Albania. Yeah, well. It be how it be. Damn teenagers.
All of Doma is counting on you to finish what we have started. You have it in you, Lys. To seize the future you want. Never.
Oh, sorry.
I won't, Hien. Not your words or anything else. Everything that led us here, that will drive us forward, I'll carry it with me always. And that's a promise.
I was drinking water. I didn't actually focus on what Hien was saying. And I'm very sorry that Hien, of all of the people, he is the only interesting character here. That he was the one I skipped. Sorry.
I will hold you to that. Go with them to Eorzea. Tell their people of our triumph and of our pledge to stand with them.
By your leave, I shall pave the way for our new alliance.
Hurry up, you lot! The ship's about to weigh anchor.
It seems our time is at an end.
Hey.
Go well, my friends. And may we meet again beneath a western sky.
Way anchor. Wanker. Yeah. I love how Tatara is like, goes to Japan. Dang, this place is way better than where I come from. I'm just gonna stay here. She is just a modern day American. What do you mean people are like quiet and not like they're collectivist?
I always knew that woman was unfit for command.
Wow, okay. Imperius Pilus Prior. Like, that's a very direct statement, completely out of nothing. Imagine just going up like, "Oof, yeah. I mean, I always knew this manager was meant to be fired. Like, "Oof, okay. Sheesh, how long have you been walking around with this?"
Aye, when you think of all the resources we poured into that hole, and for what?
You never expect a Doman to do a Guardian's job. That was a comment based on what Adam wrote.
The beast yet lives. Mayhap it is time I sharpen my claws.
This, by the way, is an awful practice, but it was something that was done by samurai in ancient Japan, where you got a sword, and I feel like I've talked about this on stream, maybe. But essentially the samurai, if they got a new weapon or a new technique, they would go out and find a like a homeless man, essentially, and then test out the technique or the weapon on them, which is completely and absolutely horrendous behavior. But that's just what that goes to show that rich people have been assholes always, but it has been worse.
I wonder, will you walk into my parlor once more?
Oh, okay, so I feel like I should drink more in order to like lubricate my throat. Please do not take that out of context. But the more water I drink, the more full my stomach feels, and at this point I just feel bloated. Waterlogged, essentially. Oh, it's that woman that did that was...
Valorem Lupus, come at the command of the Lord Viceroy to present the prisoner taken by the Cranie Lupi.
Yes. Wait, when was she taken again? Oh yeah, we got invaded. Ralgor's Rest.
Xenosier Galvus, I presume. It's true what they say. You do have the eyes of a monster. A ravenous, insatiable fiend.
You, give the butcher your weapon.
Yes, my lord.
My lord, this is...
A reward given in recognition of your service. I trust it will prove more capable than its former owner.
I swear, I'll not disappoint you, my lord.
Good. Now, silence that mewling little piglet. I will not hear another sound pass her lips. Until I strip the fat from her.
Or okay, Hannibal. Lee's back in Eosa at last, ready to pick up where we left off and finish the fight. We're not who we were when we left. That's... I don't know, this sentence feels weird. There's a lot of W's. We're stronger and wiser. So let's do it. Let's get back to Alan Michael and defeat Xenos once and for all. Oh yeah, the hoses. Oh wait. Thinking. Considering. Yeah, like none of these. So I guess I'll take the materia. Rings. Home is where the heart is, and Alphanos is in Eorzea. Here we go, home at last. I must say, the journey, passed more quickly than I had expected. That would be due to the absence of otherworldly interference, I should be glad we did not speak of unpleasantnesses again. Ahem. But in spite of all that, we return better for the experience, and more importantly, triumphant. Indeed, and with Doma freed from Imperial oppression, it is only right that we turn our thoughts to the plight of Alan Mygo. Well, I'm all for that, obviously, but I think you should see that refugees at Revenant's Hall before doing anything else. They'll be thrilled to hear what we've accomplished, and it sounds best coming from you. Thank you. I shall do as you suggest. Hey, it's that woman with the black coat and the admiral. Melchop. I see I am not too late. Admiral, what are you doing here? The East Aldernot Trading Company informed me of your impending arrival. I have tidings I thought best share with you in person. From Albania. Aye, the Alliance still holds the wall, despite several Imperial counterattacks, but we have been unable to press further into occupied territory. Commander Kemp and his men, meanwhile, have made great strides toward rebuilding their depleted ranks. They have even taken it upon themselves to attempt some few operations, with mixed results. I am sorry to say 'twas a complicated arising from one such venture. Seek you out. During a mission to transport wounded resistance fighters to the Rising Stones, Kyle was taken prisoner. Kyle? But do they know where she is? They do not, but your comrades were informed, and I am told Thancred is in Albania. How could this have happened? We must seek Thancred. Nay, Kyle taught me better than that. It would be unwise to act without first a full understanding, yes. Thank you for informing. Tired though we may be, we must make help. Pray excuse, Lady Yugiri. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4... How did we get passage for the last person? We were told we had 4 people. Oh no. I'm back in hell. Limsa Plaza. Look at these 2 boys. You know, I've never walked around Limsa and just been people watching. It's kind of cute. Yeah, sorry, I didn't comment because I was like very distracted by just looking at how people have decorated their characters. The only thing I'm really hating looking at all this is why are people standing on the railing? Get down from the damn railing. They're putting themselves in danger. Maybe leaves before someone writes something. No one would write anything in chat in Limsa Lominsa. That would be weird. And also, it's fine. As long as I don't read it. Wait, I can just move the map here. Isn't that great? And then I can look at people. Okay, so this is an example of visual identity clutter that Final Fantasy suffers from. While the cap, the shirt, and the tights, and the boots by themselves individually aren't any kind of issue. It's like it's like this game is supposedly a fantasy storyline, right? So we have a character like this that is fairly fantasy-y, and then we have that guy's just not clothed, and then we have this guy who's just like, I swear I've seen this lady last summer. And, you know, this is just like... Oh, but this, like, this dress, for example, that's... I guess it's because when people wear a dress, I'm like, yes, this is fantasy. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird... Final Fantasy has always been pretty free flow with their fashion style. But I get what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's... maybe it is just a general Final Fantasy thing. But even if it is Final Fantasy tradition, it's something that I don't jive that well with it. While I like these two characters and their design and what they've done, it's... I don't know, when I look at my own character, it just seems very distinctly different from... and this, like, and this teenager. Oh, sorry, I don't want to upcut her. I thought the tights were like all the way up top. It is Limsa. It is it is Limsa. What else to say, right? While you were away, you're... I'm not attuned. Okay, hold on. I go to Black Shroud. Where is it? Is it here? It is not there. Is it East Shroud? It is in East Shroud. I go to this hut. Hell yeah, I remember. Remember layout. Okay. Did the shroud always look pretty? Ah, okay, there it is. That's oh, but this way it looks nice. Maybe it's because I'm also backlit from the window, and there's golden light streaming in from outside. I'm running the wrong way. Levies. Blue quests. So, something I wanted to talk about for the longest time, but I always forgot, is, you know, in World of Warcraft, which I may or may not have mentioned that I've played, dig up the World of Warcraft counter, dust it off. Yeah, so the thing is, when I played that game, I asked myself a lot of the time, like, why am I playing this game? It's something I did a lot. I kept asking a lot of why this and why that. And then and then at some point I realized, wait, where I am? Wait, the fingies. Do I have to talk to this? To the gatekeeper? Oh, okay, I thought I just walked there. My bad. But, like, I was looking for answers. Huh? Magitech failure. This is probably important. Yes, it is. Captain Luzgitz looking for something important. Ivory. Of the Immortal Flames. We've misplaced a number of Guardian drones taken through the wall. And by misplaced, I mean they sprang to life and stormed out of the base. Being familiar with Magitech, I can think of no one better to assist us. If you would be willing to help, speak with Lieutenant Gnibnababa. She is overseeing the initiative of terminating the drones. Yeah, so my original goal for when I played World of Warcraft was I wanted to experience the world of Warcraft 3. Answers, that's the ARR theme. Huh? Huh? Yeah, so... Oh, what is this blue quest? The Hidden Truth. I'll just finish this. So, when I first started playing World of Warcraft, I wanted adventure, and I wanted to experience the world of Warcraft 3, but from essentially a footman's perspective, from a personal perspective, instead of this grand strategy that the RTS offered. And then I wanted to level and play with one of my friends. However, that friend is no longer a friend of mine. And one of the early signs was that he just leveled without me all of the time. So we were never in any appropriate level to play together, and he sort of held that over me. That I just weren't fast enough or whatever it was. And I didn't really gain any new friends, because being a child and trying to type really fast is quite difficult. Especially in a different language that you don't fully speak at this point in your life. Or write or communicate in. So I began making a lot of other goals, and one of the goals was wanting to reach max level. Answers is more of a theme around the Battle of Carteno and 7th Umbral Era as a whole. Still is hard. Answers. Oh, Answers, the theme? Huh. Okay. What was it? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Answers. So Answers, I take it, is the theme for the okay. I'm trying to understand what has been written in chat. And I don't. Because I am simple. But continuing off the completely ignoring chat, as I'm famous for doing. Playing the final call of Bahamut. I cannot remember. I'm really bad at remembering music. Which is a fault of mine. My audio remember ability bad. Said Answers, and Adam just tried to make a joke. Yeah, I probably did. But the only answer I know is from Guilty Gear. Well, it's okay to fall flat, as long as it's not from like 3 meters and into a pool, then it's fine to fall flat. I appreciate you nonetheless. But I was telling a story before you absolutely sort of interrupted me. Yeah, so I played. So my goal wasn't really to meet friends or get any friends, because like that wasn't. I'll make you listen to it after. Yeah, okay, that's doable. So my goal wasn't really to make friends, I just wanted to experience some adventure. So my goal became, I want to level up. And then I hit maximum level. And then it was, I want to explore. And then I explored the entire world. That was up to Wrath of the Lich King. And then my goal became, yeah, I think I wanted to do some raiding to get better equipment and get a better gear. But at that point, because I hadn't been reading any guides, even though I did know English, I just didn't know where to go to look for guides. So, because the World of Warcraft, at least at that point in time, was quite toxic, I was just booted from multiple parties for not being good enough. So I fairly quickly stopped trying to do raiding or instances. Tried leveling some other characters, but like I essentially lost sight of what made the game nice. And as mentioned, I just kept asking, like, why am I playing this? But when you're a kid, the answer to why am I playing this is really difficult to figure out. Where sometimes you play it because of a habit, but you haven't realized, and you don't know what else to do because nothing else seems interesting. And you don't really have the full capacity to realize that that is the issue, that you're lacking something else that you can sit and do. And that's that is like deeply problematic, I think. It's not necessarily just a children issue. It is maybe an experience issue, because you need the ability to say, there is something else worth my time, and that can be it can be difficult to figure out, like, what is worth my time, what do I want to do, what does not feel like an obligation at this time. Because what really became an issue in World of Warcraft was, for the last 2 or 3 months, all I did was like log in and do blue quests, which is daily quests. So I logged in, did daily quests, got whatever currency, whatever thing to grind up to, and then I just did a bunch of nothing. And then I did more blue quests. And then after 2 months of this, I realized I don't... At least encourages the player to take a break between expansions. Yeah, that is true. But that can also be, I don't know, a little weird or a little difficult, especially for a child. Because if this is all you've done, then... Yeah, and if you don't read English either, then it can be quite difficult. Sorry, I'm doing a stealth mission. Sorry. No, stop. No. No. Ah. Okay. Flash wave. Yeah. Fun interactions. This is Adam's character, for anyone wondering, or his alt, because he's crazy enough to go through this game twice. This mentality of playing one game is a real problem today. I think it was... Oh, hey Joe. I think it was just as big of an issue then. But in this... I don't know. It's hard to say. Sorry, I got a notification. But it's a notification that doesn't matter. Yeah. I think it's, in general, just an issue for... Because back in the day, right, the difference was, as a child, you didn't have... Especially where I lived. Sorry, I missed. Yeah, but this is the mentality. It hurts the industry and allows unstable monopolies to form, such as Fortnite. I will say it was an issue then as well, especially for me, because when I got access to a game, I got access to, say, Age of Empires 2. I played that game a lot, but the reason I had access to it was because we went to a store one day, fairly far away from where I live, at least, you know. It's, in order to go anywhere from where I lived, to buy games, you would have to drive for 30 to 40 minutes. Which doesn't seem like a lot, especially to an American, but it's a lot for a child when everything you know is the village you grew up in. And then you'd have to go to the mall, and the mall is like fairly far away. And you'd have to essentially make a day out of it. So it was something that you couldn't do often, which meant the games that you had were... Oh, not everyone, sorry. Sure, but not everyone got the same game, plus no one had any incentive or expectation to make you keep playing that one game. No, that is true. But people sort of still grew to play this one game. But again, it wasn't really an issue, because... sorry, back to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft had the incentive mechanics, like daily quests, to have you come back to continually play it. But it was such a miserable experience, because I had no other reason to do it than to do those daily quests. So for 3 months I just lived that terrible, terrible experience of going in, playing the game, and then doing nothing. And I had nothing else that I really wanted to do. So it just felt, but it felt like I still had stuff that I could do. Where once you play a single player game, if you want to play it again, then that's sort of a decision that you make. Or it's more of a decision. It's not like you're getting baited into playing the game. And that's essentially a type of experience children are having earlier today in this day and age, or maybe around the same time. I was a bit of a front runner on that. I guess people played RuneScape back in my day as well. So people would... No, RuneScape has a sense of progression, because you do level up. And the idea of RuneScape is the progression. But doing blue quests or daily quests didn't really give much when it came to progression. And when World of Warcraft is your entire world, yeah, I mean, I guess you're completely right, Adam, because you're really incentivized to just play that singular game and then live within that monopolized world. It happens. A better example than both Fortnite, World of Warcraft, and any of these other examples we could make is Roblox. Because everything is stuck within the Roblox. Like, people are making other games from elsewhere, but within Roblox. So people stay in the Roblox community instead of exploring other places. Such as, like, when it came to Flash games, you were constantly, like, pushed to go to different websites, because in the beginning of a Flash game it would have like pop-up Newgrounds, pop-up Armor Games, pop-up Congregate, and then you try and visit those different places to like look, see what games are here, or as we all know in chat, gratisspil.dk, which is the Danish free games thingy for Flash games, which was absolutely banger. It had like most popular and daily most popular, and it was really good at promoting like different new things. But the thing is, it feels different than because it's like it's an engine, right? Flash games is more like an engine, where Roblox tries to treat itself as an engine, but it is a game. And it's a game that closes itself off from other gaming experiences. So there's less exploration from outside of it. Where I feel like with Flash games, due to the inherent social nature of it, it felt like you were maybe sometimes pushed to seek something outside of it. It's like Apple. Yeah, exactly. Apple has a tendency also to make all of their devices very good when they work together. So, and there's like, it's the famous like, there's a green speech bubble, I think. If you send an SMS to someone else who has an Apple device, it looks different than when it's someone with a different device. And it keeps you, and also because like if the Apple phone and the Apple TV, they work really well together because they auto-connect and they share data really fast and what have you. It makes sense, it's all made in-house. It makes sense, right, that the ecosystem supports itself, because who better to make the specific ecosystem support than the people who make all of the devices within the ecosystem. The issue with the design is just that it tends to close itself off to anything else, so nothing new can come in, which monopolizes the situation, so it is the exact same thing. Yeah, it's I'm glad I had the realization with World of Warcraft. It took me those 3 or so months to realize that these daily quests were, not to sugarcoat it, but they were tearing apart my will to live. Because when I came home from school, I didn't do anything I enjoyed. So I just did something I didn't enjoy. After I just did something I didn't enjoy. Yeah. But then I had the realization that this negatively, the MMO second job. Yeah, true. A lot of people who have played MMOs have experienced something like this, and it often makes them quit. It made me quit World of Warcraft. And I think it's a healthy negative experience to have, because you grow from it, and you, at least I got the experience. I got to realize that I don't want games to feel like a chore. And oh boy, people have heard this like up and down, because it's been such a it's been very normalized to yeah, at least in World of Warcraft circles, that it began feeling like a chore itself. Anyway, that's why when I came into Final Fantasy, and Adam, my chaperone, showed me around, he told me about blue quests. And immediately I was like, oh, this does not sound good. and he was like, oh, these are levy meets. They are basically like daily quests. And I was like, I'm going to jump out of a balcony before I play a blue quest in this damn video game. Then it turns out blue quests were quests of different significance. They were not necessarily dailies. But there was such a massive negative reaction from my bodily system that completely rejected the yeah, sorry. That just completely rejected just the color blue on a quest. Oh. Yeah. So that's why it took me a while in this game to like accept blue quests, because they also have Aether Current stuff. Ivory, the Immortal Flames, the Twin Adder overseeing Castrum, and as an adventurer, both great in all corners, though saying must uphold obligations. Thus, I would read this in a second, Nico. Reconnaissance mission, Fringes pray the Lieutenant Molko for briefing. She will oversee operation. Yes. Yeah, but this process has had many years now to be optimized for engagement, so it's much harder to escape from if you're caught in it. Yes. Ooh. People, and by people I mean companies, have really gotten the hang of having people stay within an ecosystem. And that is deeply, deeply negative. I think to some extent it is, of course, very difficult for us because we're not in those spaces. But I think it is. I think it's important to at least recognize that kids today have it really tough. I want to help these children have more positive gaming experiences, but it's... Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how the what's it called? The collision on this works, because I can move my camera through it, but I can't walk through it. Sorry, I was distracted. They're at least starting to see the problem with that model. Who are they? Would they be the children? Or would they be the companies? We had the chance to experience the unrefined part of it, and to wisen up before it got real bad at the companies. I am not aware that the companies are realizing this is a bad business model. To me, it seems like it is a very good business model, especially when you look at the exploitation of whales in... Sorry, I thought of England. My bad. The exploitation of whales in mobile games. Because this was a massive issue back then as well. But it was for like those browser-based games like the Clash of Clans, or rather what Clash of Clans came from, like Travian is the only one I can remember because my mother was stuck in that and she spent a lot of money on it. She managed to catch herself before she spent way too much. And her husband kind of called her out on it. My stepdad. Oh, my previous stepdad. So, yeah. The new live service games keep failing and the big ones are starting to decline. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that the live service model is bad, but just that they have made a bunch of really bad decisions in the live service industry. Companies keep mistaking the core gaming market for the mobile market, and it never gets old to witness. That's... Nico, I think that's an... I'm going to call you out because I think that's a blind statement. The core gaming market is the mobile gaming market. And whenever large game companies make a push for mobile, they make a lot of money on it. We like to clown on the biggest fiasco, which is Diablo Immortal, right? Remember when that came out? You guys don't have phones? Yeah, that game. That game was one of Blizzard's most profitable games. But we look at it like a fiasco. I am certain the shareholders do not. Core as in the elitist, not in terms of money. Ah, in that way. Yeah. The gamers with all of the knowledge. The gamers who spend a lot of time on games. The gamers like me, who have spent my entire life gaming. But we are super users. We're not very representative of what the average gamer looks like. Yeah. I mean, I'm on Twitch, for goodness sake. So, yeah. It's people who actually like games as an art, smug. Yeah. That's me. There's a lot of people who just treat games as content, which is fair enough. I treat movies and paintings and music a lot of the time as content rather than I treat it as art. But that's like how you choose to engage with it. I would like to witness it more as art, but that requires me to, long story short, famously not a website for gaming. Yeah, I mean, just chatting is the most famous... Oh, by the by, for everyone listening, I'm also streaming on YouTube now. So there you go. If you enjoy the YouTube experience more. I don't know if the YouTube thing is actually working. as part of the stream overlay. I hope so. But I don't know. I haven't checked. Because I don't think anyone has written in the chat. No, not in the... Oh, where did that go? No. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around. And it keeps snapping to different parts. No one has written anything in the YouTube chat. Okay, good. Yes. Where was I? Yeah. So... Yeah. Children today are kind of locked in monopolistic ecosystems, and it's bad for their health. There he is. He wrote in the YouTube chat, and it does not show up in my own overlay. So that's an issue that I will have to fix at a later date. Which means it won't be read by the other system, and it won't show up on Twitch. Sorry, not Twitch. On the chat, on the left-hand side. All right, I will have to figure out why that is at some point. Thank you for helping with experimentation, Adam. Oh. Yeah. Children. It's, I want to say like it's our duty to sort of, I'm not reading that out loud. I can't believe you would write that in chat. Sheesh. Goodness. Good thing that doesn't show up on the stream chat. Yeah, I would say it's like sort of our duty to try and help out and make the gaming community better. At least that's what I would like to say, if there was any sort of actionable plan I could do for that. But there really isn't, other than what I'm currently doing, I guess, where I'm streaming Final Fantasy and just talking about it. It's and of course there's my niece. My niece plays Roblox. I don't see it as an issue because she's not that old, so I'm fine with her just playing whatever, as long as she has some fun, and then she wants to show me the different things. And then I'm a little combative with her, because she wants to show me a game, and then I'm like, oh cool, can I try? And of course she's like, no, I just want to show you. Just like what I'm doing with chat right now. Because I want to be the shower. I want you to look at me playing the game. That is the fun part. I don't want to be the watcher. And she has sort of the same, but if there's only one computer, then you have to switch. I prefer Twitch, it has less delay. Oh, fair enough. Maybe I can play around with some settings. Yeah, so like she has to essentially learn to share the controller, because currently she's an only child. I say currently because that might change. So she's not necessarily that good at sharing stuff. And I want to like force her a little bit to share. And that's my good deed for the gaming community. I'm just teaching my niece what the manners of gaming are. Play something turn-based like Heroes. For example, I could do that, but she only really wants to play Roblox, because the Roblox games are the games that she knows. So, if I have a good opportunity for it, I'll make sure to bring a game that we can all play together. I can bring Mario Kart actually, now that I own a Switch. Yeah, you know, that's a breaker free. Yeah. My other niece, she's a bit older at this point. She is, goodness, I suppose she's 15. That's very weird to me, but not to you, because you don't know her. But like, I remember when she was born, so it feels weird to me. Her father is really good with games. He is essentially the man who got me into a lot of like tabletop role playing. He didn't get me into gaming as a whole, but he got me into a lot of the classics, such as Heroes of Might and Magic 3 or Warcraft. Like, he was the guy that introduced me to Warcraft. And he helped set up my World of Warcraft account, because the giant license agreement, right, when that showed up, I was like, oh no, I can't read this. There's so much text. And he was like, don't worry, I got you. And then he clicked accept. Absolute baller. Love him. But yeah, he's like the he's my gaming idol, though I didn't really talk to him much about gaming. A lot of gaming is stuff that I had to figure out myself, and I never really spoke with him that much. But when I did speak with him, he taught me something new every time about gaming. You're using the wrong term. I can't quite make sense of your family structure. Oh, don't worry, Adam. No one can make sense of my family structure. He was the husband. From what you said, he would either be your brother or your brother-in-law. He used to be my brother-in-law. He is not anymore. However, my niece lives with him because my sister willingly gave up custody. Because she decided that he was simply a better role model, which I think is, of course I have my own criticisms, because it feels like, while it is completely correct, it feels like she shirked her responsibilities a little bit. But she'll never watch this video, so it's fine that I say that. That is my critique of her, but I am 100% certain that that is a critique she has given herself a lot. So I believe she has worked through it way better than me making an offhand comment. I've heard much worse reasons. Yes. Completely true. I think she is, I think it's responsible enough that she can look at herself and say, this is something where I would just make it worse if I involved myself more. I'm just not ready to, such as, yeah, exactly. Not ready to be a parent. It sort of feels like the excuse that she's giving. But yeah, she's still her parent. She still takes care of her from time to time. It's just she realized that he's just better at it. Yeah. So I'm not afraid that she'll get a good experience of games growing up. My issue is just I want to talk more with her, because as far as I've understood, her main issue when I'm speaking with her is just that she doesn't say enough. Maybe that's a me issue because I say too much, but she listens a lot, and I feel like she understands a lot. Now I'm just praising my niece. I think she's clever. Fuck it, I'll just go through all of my nephews and nieces. No, there's one more because my other nephew, he's or my nephew rather, he's the oldest. No, he's not the oldest nephew I have. He is, but he was a spoiled brat essentially, but he's very much but he's been gaming for. The reason I think he's a spoiled brat and the reason why I think he's really difficult to be around is because he reminds me so immensely of myself. And I was like, I just hate this kid's guts. Yeah. So, because like, he has to go through all of the exact same issues and the exact same problems that I had to go through. And I just feel so frustrated because I can't tell him the solution. I can't give him the solution because he has to figure that shit out himself. Oh goodness. And it feels like he isn't figuring that out, and it makes me feel like I'm powerless. And I, again, don't spend enough time with my family, so I can't help. A friend of mine had his wife leave him for her boss with that reason. Huh. Like the not ready to be a parent reason. I mean, I feel like that's fair, but not if they have a child. If they had a child together and she then left with that excuse, then they had a kid together. Yeah, okay, I'd call that disgusting. Especially because she then, like, socially or socioeconomically moved up afterwards. Yeah, doesn't leave a good taste. Ugh. Yeah. It's, oh my goodness. You picked the worst guy. Yeah, I mean, a boss is always worse. We know this from Bounce Daddy 69. The boss of bosses. Yeah, like, the more I think about my family, the more, now that I'm getting, like, more sentimental about it, the more I feel like I want to spend time with them. I've had a long period of my life where I've tried to move more away from my family and be less around them. But I think I'm finally beginning to reach the point where I now want to be around my family again. Where I'm beginning to actually like them. I need to figure out a good opportunity to actually spend some time with them. Because it doesn't work at Christmas. Even though it's my family. And maybe some of you can relate. It doesn't work when it's a crowd. And my family, now that you are physically very far away. Yeah, exactly. Now that I'm about as far away as you can while still being within the country. I could be on, like, an abandoned island somewhere, like Bornholm. That's a joke. That's a Danish joke. Lots. Yeah. But it's still like, because my family is a crowd, my close family is a crowd. Within the crowd here. Copenhagen is not part of my country. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. It's the... Now I forgot what I was saying. Thank you. You ass. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's because, like, I have a lot of siblings, and my siblings themselves have families, so they bring a lot of extras whenever it's like Christmas and that sort of stuff. Did you just write again in the YouTube chat, Adam? Strange. Oh. Okay. There's a joke here that I'm not getting. Something falling flat again. Yeah, essentially I want to spend time with my siblings and my family in one-on-one situations. Because there are too many people around at the same time, often. Yes, do my eyes deceive me? It can't be, but it is. Ivory, the Griffin's Bane herself. I've been jumping around for like multiple minutes. Just being a menace. Yeah, that's you. That's you being a menace. Especially now that I haven't set up my dang chat properly. So you don't show up in the stream chat overlay. So you don't show up on with your own chat thingy-majig. God dang it. Yes, the hero who defeated the Griffin atop Baelsar's wall, bringing his plans of conquest to shuddering halt. They give no other title. A pity no one else seems to. Ahem, but enough. What brings illustrious Bane to Oriens? Serpent Marshal Brookstone has requested you assist in my investigation. Such an honor. Ah, goodness me, oh my. Oh, I've been listening to 2Ks. Hence the Thief album and Streetlight Lullabies album. And they're so good. They're so good. I listened to it a lot just after high school. And that was a moment in my life where I was pretty lost. So it was just so nice to have those albums of existential angst just playing constantly. Military records at your service. Much in the way of combat, but if you should take inquiries, you need only ask. Now then, let me appraise the current situation. Shortly after taking the Oriens, discovered number of confidential documents of the Guardian's prisoner records. Alan Migo, guest conscripted, sent back to subjugate new territories. Large number were executed as a reminder. We weren't expecting, however, was number of prisoners in whereabouts unknown. We thought that ill fortune of imprisonment or even escape, but they found no other documents of what became of them. But living or deceased, it is now our duty to find them, not for our own records, mind you, but their loved ones as well. They deserve the peace of mind knowing what happened, and easy task and whereabouts for 20 years. But I believe I know where I might begin investigation. Ananta have called these lands home long before the Allans came, and the resistance has established cordial relations with their people. Perhaps they're a reminder of something that happened all those years ago. I saw a video on like how to do that's a lot of bears. I saw a video on how to do it was technically D&D, but like tabletop role-playing maps of world maps, and it was really good. It was really informational, because what it was largely about is less is more, because you want a smaller map that you can move around so you can get a closer relation with the different parts of the map. I'm seeing some of the campaigns try and do this that I'm a part of, and it works pretty well, and I see what they're going for. There are still some kinks to work out in a lot of them. One that I played was, is he still in chat? He is. Marin held a campaign that I was part of, where we were on a prison island that was fairly small, and I really got a sense playing through that campaign that I knew the different areas because they were quite distinct. and they were... And I just really probably muted you. Yeah, he probably did. But that's okay. Maybe he didn't. And maybe he did. But I enjoyed that campaign because it was a... It was... Yeah, it was small, it was distinct. It felt like I knew the different parts of the map intimately. And that's a great success story, and I want essentially to sort of emulate that wherever possible. Create a smaller but much denser area. Because it means when someone burns down a village, it means you probably knew someone in that village. And that raises the stakes way more. Whereas to do the same... if it's a whole ass country, then you gotta like... Then it's more difficult to... Especially if you move around a bunch within the country, it gets difficult to properly establish yourself. It's essentially that NPCs need to know who you are, and you need to know the NPCs based on the local areas. And that worked very well in this short Prisoner Island campaign. It just didn't... it hasn't worked when I've tried to emulate it for different things, and I've begun to realize a bit of why. It's because it's a lot of moving between areas, and it's a lot of not establishing the area properly, not giving more obvious quests for that local area. I was part of another one where it was a duchy, a small duchy, essentially, with a handful of villages. And then, like, a bandit leader that we were trying to track down, who were trying to do some stuff. It was basically level 1 through 5 that was just within, like, localized within these handful of villages. And then, as the party does, we completed the quest, and we chose to ride on to different places. And I think that was a mistake. Because the more we traveled, the less the world seemed. The more bland and empty it seemed. And that's also something for, like, the players out there. Remember, just like we talked about with the, like a few hours ago, with the concert, it's important that instead of just expecting to be entertained, that you lean into it. So instead of traveling around a lot, I am especially guilty of this because one of my great fantasies, one of the things I enjoy most, is traveling from area to area to see the different areas. But it leaves the smaller connections behind. And that's a... while that is something that is worth exploring itself, it's a little difficult. I would definitely argue for try to go for those small connections. They're super important. It's very nice. I have no place that I'm going with this, so I'm just gonna pick up this quest. Too far below you? I've never seen this image. Oh, this message. Okay, I guess I'll just... Ivory, your assistance is greatly appreciated. Drones. They are impervious to traditional firearms, which is why Commissioner Garland Ironworks to fashion a weapon capable of penetration. It has since been fitted to a suit of Magitech armor, which you can pilot, if I'm not mistaken. You piloted one of these suits. It will take you no time. And now the drones were last sighted. Yeah, it was 3 years ago that I piloted one of these suits last. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Okay, I have a side quest to complete. Clonk, 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 clonk. Wonder what the wings are for. It's definitely not for flight. Maybe it's I was about to say it's an intimidation thing, but maybe it's for calling in partners. Maybe it's like a... oh, what's it called? It feels wrong to say that it's a sexual thing, but that is what I'm trying to say. Mating. Mating is the word I was looking for. I guess mating is sexual, but... You know. Yeah. But it feels more sanitary, I suppose. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I think the wings are for these suits to mate. Bum, 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 bum. Clonk, 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 clonk. You know, in Rayman 3 there was a part of the storyline. Hold on. No, why is it this blue? No, don't tell me. I doubt you've gone much further than the river. No, I don't. I'm done. Thancred. Oh yeah, in Rayman 3 there was a part of the game. They had a lot of like mini games throughout that game. I remember I often restarted the game in order to get to certain mini games, or I failed a mini game on purpose in order to play it again. It was like driving around in the shoe. That was so good. There was at some point you get to walk around in like a big stompy mech thing. And the music for walking around in the big stompy mech thing was amazing. And then there was the skating part. Oh, dude. Rayman 3 was so good. Maybe I should play Rayman 3 at some point. Again. It's been a while. And by a while, I mean a long while. There you are, you've heard the news. In broad strokes, Admiral Bloodshin. What happened? I remember that track with the Stomper. Yeah. It's so good. I remember walking around with the Plum. Because when you walk around the Plum, there was like a different soundtrack also. And I was like, bum, 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 bum. And I just liked just walking around with the Plum to enjoy the music for a bit. Yeah, of course you would remember the Stomp. You're just such an audio remembrancer person. Kyle and a squadron of resistance fighters, Ishtola several other wounded Rising Stones treatment when ambushed by Imperial forces. Ehrenwald and his men fought valiantly, but in the chaos, I will make no excuses. We failed to protect her. Do not be so hard on yourself. You protected your Stola and the others. Did you not tell about the attack? It was the skulls. They knew a path across the wall that we hadn't found. We thought we were safe. We weren't expecting an ambush. Wait, they were attacked on the wall? I thought it was on Broadgrove Street that Kyle was joined. I was the only one who got every answer correct on Game Master Martin's OST quiz. Who? Who's Game Master Martin? Like the Danish Spilmester Martin. That guy. Did he have an OST quiz? If yes. Oh. No. That was Teacher Martin, not famous celebrity Spilmester Martin, but Teacher Martin. Yeah, I sure didn't. I am terrible with trivia. It may sound like I'm good with trivia because I comment on a lot of things, but I am terrible with trivia. I caught a glimpse of their leader's memories. It was all planned. I can't really say why it is that... I guess it's because it seems that way because I'm good at leading conversations or talking or talking about things that I know something about, or that I'm good at, I suppose, synthesizing information from information I already have. Even though that may also, if anyone has ever seen me program, you would think that that is incorrect. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm good at analysis. Maybe that's what I'm good at. Who knows? Maybe I'm not good at anything. This is also possible. I'm good at yapping. Kind of. Of course. Okay, big issue incoming. Massive red flag. Of course, I've been watching some other streamers. Usually, I didn't watch streamers that much. But there's like a level of interest that suddenly arrives now that I've been streaming for a little bit and I've been on this side of it, that I find it interesting to watch streamers stream. And I've watched like a handful of small streamers and a handful of large streamers. And of course, never ever compare yourself to others, because you are your own person. And what you can do and what you can't do does not define your... I'll come back to why trivia isn't trivial. I won't, I'm just gonna say it right now. It's because trivia is trivial only if you remember it. But if you don't remember it, it is impossible. But I suppose that could still be trivial. It is not something that you can solve. It is something that if you know it, you already know it. That's dumb. Well, I'm dumb. Anyway, I've been watching a bunch of these different streamers, and some of the small streamers, I will say, I realize trivia is dumb. Trivia is so dumb. I hate trivia so much. So I remember back in history, right? Back in history class, I was in 3rd grade, I think. We are reading a like part of this, like we have the book of history essentially, with the different subjects that we have to go through, and I only surface skimmed it because a lot of history I knew beforehand, because my dad is just a massive history buff, so he talks to me about like a bunch of history things. And also I read up on history stuff in my spare time then as well, because I'm a huge nerd. So when we had like a trivia thing, and the class thought, oh Siggedy, he's so good at trivia. I want Siggedy on my team because he will know all these trivia things. And then I was pulled on one of the teams because like it was just nice being, desired for once, because Lord knows I wasn't when it came to sports picking or like anything that, because it's all popularity is what I'm trying to say. But then the question was, which armament was becoming popular in usage during the 13 to 1400s. And I was like, oh damn, I know this. It's the Bollock's dagger. And the reason it's the Bollock's dagger is because people began wearing thicker and thicker plate armor. So it was more and more difficult to hurt your enemy. So you needed a proper puncturing weapon after you've wrestled them to the ground. So you took a Bollock's dagger and then you put it through them. It had a bunch of different names also, but the Bollock's dagger is specifically, in Danish it's called like a kidney dagger. And it's because the way you hold it is to like properly put both hands on it, so it's sort of shaped like a kidney. It very much fell out of usage, and it wasn't entirely correct, because the stiletto dagger was way more popular and had way wider usage. But I was like, this this is the tertiary piece of equipment that people began carrying around because it was so important to get through or around armor if your opponent was wearing armor. So I was like, this is the answer. And everyone looked at me like, Siggedy. It was cannons. People used cannons. That's what the entire chapter was about. About how to do, how fighting with cannons was becoming more normal. I was like, and from that day on, I've always hated trivia. Stupid trivia. The advantage of having a walker in the field. I'm not as strong in the echo as Ivory is, of course. Half the time it's enough to knock me on my ass, like I've been a dozen in the ether. So you walked in for Dola's memories. What did you see? Oh, it's that guy from Full Metal Alchemist. I've made this joke. A woman promised the world education, training, citizenship, all that and more if she sold her soul, a traitor to her people, a pretender to the matters. But it was Xenos himself that gave the order, told her to return with Kyle and Balderson alive. Oh, I thought they were just talking about the girl we killed in China. But no, it's the other girl. It's the mirror of the China girl, but in this area. What was her name? It was like Fulton Dalton or something like that. Our agents have been carefully monitoring Imperial communications since the attack, but have yet to intercept any transmissions making reference to Kyle and her current whereabouts. If their order were to bring Kyle back alive, we can save her if we move quickly enough. As you say, time is essence. Therefore, intend to slip past enemy lines and see what information uncover. In the meantime, you and allies command the Imperial's undivided attention. Lots of shouting and explosions and so forth. Keep them distracted and I will find her. Very well, I wish I could do more to aid you, but I understand. Commander Klemp is on the castrum as we speak for a meeting with General Alden. If you hurry, you can find him on the road and discuss the situation beforehand. I said Klemp on purpose. For Dola. Ah. For Dola. I think Ivory is going to see Conrad just like and wait here. Yeah, so I just remembered I hadn't done this. Okay, now that I've been properly attuned. Ella Megan, prisoners captured 20 years ago. Yes, I remember when the Garlands gained their foothold here, they interned any and everyone, Strider, Santana, Ananta. It mattered not, most were forced to serve. And serve and swerve. If I'm not mistaken, the prisoners who remained were taken small village to the south. I cannot say what transpired, and the settlement was heavily guarded. The settlement to the south? Why, Wood Bittermill. I recall records resident seeking asylum, Gridania. Garleans first arrived, placed on to the ground. Let's begin our search there. Perhaps something value remains in the rubble. Yeah, so I have a feeling that trying to do this blue quest. No. It's going to lead to something good. Okay, I see. Then I will be doing it. While you were away. I'm thinking if I did mention it was going to be a shorter stream today, and I think probably not how it is spelled. Yeah. I think I mentioned it was going to be a shorter stream. I think this is about where I'm going to be calling it. My excuse is that I'm sick, and this sort of feels as good a time as any. There is more to do, and I know it's kind of in the middle of the quest. But I'm kind of feeling the headache creeping in. I can feel that I should be drinking more water, but I can also taste whenever I'm trying to drink water that I'm unable to properly drink it. So, you know, it would be about the time and trying to listen to. There are worse places coming up. Okay, yeah. Okay, I guess my internal brain clock was like was on point then. So I think this may be the time. Hopefully I'll be healthy next time around, and maybe I might even have a Discord community thing link ready, so so you don't have to remember or have someone else remember for you, but there will be a ping every week when I go to stream. Wouldn't that be nice? So I'll say this is the end, my friend. This is the time to stop and hop and do a club like those, like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where they do the manual clubs. Oh, Roban, I forgot he was here. Yeah. See you next week. And raid is the Anastasia online. It is the only person I know that would also be raidable at this time. I need to build up like a proper. I need to join random small streamers so I can pick up and. Oh yeah, she is. I mean, yeah, she is streaming. I think no. I think no. Oh, the commies have arrived, and by that I mean communists, communards. I think I'm going to say I'm not going to raid Anastasia, because I don't know if our relative communities have a lot in common. But I will say, if you want to check her out, then I will. Can I like copy link? I will say, go check her out. But what I was saying was I need to build up a small community of small streamers that I actually know. So, well, bam, here you go. If you want to go take a look at what she's doing. She's currently playing. What was it? Mycelium, which is a game I do not know. But fair warning, the reason why I was like, I don't think it's a good idea to raid her, is because she streams in Ukrainian. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think anyone here speaks or understands Ukrainian. So, yes. Where did I close my chat window? Now I can't. I don't know where chat went. Can I chat? Docs? Chat? Oh, it's because I'm an idiot, I see. Yeah, you can learn and lurk. Learn or lurk, if you wish to. It is just to explain who Anastasia is to all of those who are confused. Anastasia is one of my co-workers. So, you know, She was the final push, essentially, that I needed to start streaming myself. Because I'd been thinking about it, experimenting, setting stuff up, but I was like, I don't really want to stream yet. And then she mentioned that she was streaming, and then I thought, in that case, I'll try streaming too. So there you go. That was the that was my story, and with that story, I think I will leave you without any nugget of wisdom or information, other than trivia sucks, and I hate it. Goodbye, and talk to most of you, if not all of you, just randomly during the week, I guess. And to some of you, maybe in just a little bit. Alrighty. Bye-bye, and bye-bye, and have a good time, and talk to you some other time.